Pepperoni. Tender, salty, crispy, peppery circles gracing the surface of your pizza. What's the best way to achieve this quality of topping in the meatless world? Making them at home. I know it sounds like more hassle than it's worth, but I'm here to show you a simple method for tasty veggie pepperoni, and let's be honest, the store-bought variety will pale in comparison once you've had these. Mushrooms are the member of the vegetable world most often ascribed meat-likeness. Although not exactly like meat, different mushrooms have different characteristics that can, to a large degree, match the flavor, texture, and richness of animal-based substances. For pepperoni, we want something that will get us nice-sized, round medallions. The best mushrooms for the job are king oysters. These massive tube-shaped mushrooms have stems with a long vertical grain, and that makes them perfect for a salami because once we slice it into rounds and apply some heat, we'll have a very tender and meaty texture. The best way to slice our mushrooms will be to use a mandolin slicer. Using a cut-resistant glove like this one ensures maximum flexibility and control and minimum flesh wounds. So we take each of our mushrooms and we're just going to trim off the woody end part, and then we're going to do 1/8" medallions all the way down. Got about a pound of mushrooms here. We're going to set that aside in a flat container and prepare our marinade. This will deliver that unmistakable pepperoni flavor to our mushroom medallions. In your mixing bowl, whisk together 3/4 cup red wine, 1 tablespoon each of soy sauce and balsamic vinegar, a teaspoon of maple syrup and a 1/2 teaspoon of liquid smoke, a finely minced clove of fresh garlic, and 1 teaspoon of Spanish smoked paprika, hot or sweet depending on your heat preferences, and we're just going to whisk that together. Then we can pour it right over our mushrooms, making sure we get even coverage. You can let this rest for a couple of hours or even overnight in the refrigerator. However, if you prefer your pepperoni, say, right now, a 10-minute soak will do the job. Just keep in mind the flavor intensifies as the mushrooms marinate. Remember to preheat your oven to 350 degrees 30 minutes before you're ready to roast your mushrooms. After marinating, remove the mushrooms from the fridge and prepare 2 half-sheet pans with parchment paper. We're just going to drizzle a couple of tablespoons of olive oil onto each pan and brush that on in an even layer. Lay each mushroom slice down across the pan tightly so the edges are touching but no mushrooms overlap. And we want to make sure to get off the extra marinade so it doesn't sizzle up and burn. Once our mushrooms are down, sprinkle with kosher salt and generously grind black pepper over the surface. I mean, they are called pepperoni after all. After our mushrooms are seasoned, let them sit in the middle of your 350-degree oven for 20 to 30 minutes depending on how well you like them done. If the destination is pizza, you'll want to lean less crispy at this stage so they don't turn to charcoal atop your pie. Make sure you flip them halfway through and season the other side with kosher salt and pepper. Once your mushrooms have roasted, retrieve them from the oven and allow them to cool for a few minutes before you handle them. Meanwhile, in your mixing bowl, prepare the rest of the spices. A 1/2 teaspoon of Spanish smoked paprika, a 1/4 teaspoon each of garlic and onion powder, an 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, or more if you like it hot, and a 1/2 teaspoon of fennel seeds, as well as a section of star anise toasted and ground in a mortar and pestle. Once your mushrooms have cooled, place them in a bowl, toss them to coat with the spices, and taste to see if more salt and pepper are necessary. The texture is chewy and meaty, the aroma is intense, the flavor is positively addictive. These are pizza ready.